today we're going to be doing a mukbang for Vlogmas, day 6, I believe. Day 5.
Yes, day
Vlogmas
5.
Day 5.
We've been keeping it coming for y'all.
Right.
I'm telling you.
But today we're going to be doing a mukbang and we're going to be discussing
how we met.
Yes.
And how was it, or how does it feel getting married
as a lesbian couple. Yeah.
Great topics.
We got Wingstop, babe. Had the idea about getting wings. I got some boneless wings. I got the garlic parmesan and the mild wings as well.
So good.
It does smell really good. And then I got some almost KO'd the fries. But I got some Louisiana voodoo fries.
And what you got to drink?
And a vanilla Sprite to drink.
I got a Minute Maid mixed berry to drink, and it's fire. I actually wanted to try some thighs, but I also wanted wings, of course. So I got hot classic wings, traditional bone-in wings, and then I got some, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I got some Louisiana dry rub thighs.
Okay, let me see your thighs.
Thigh stop. This will be my first time trying it thighs, so I'm excited.
Yes.
And then I also got the Louisiana voodoo fries, which look amazing.
Yeah, everything does look really good. Then we got ranch on the side. You know, you gotta have your ranch. At least I do, because I don't like spicy food.
We're hungry. We about to dig in.
I'm starving.
But we also about to talk to y'all.
Yeah, say grace. So, in regards to how we met,
oh babe, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to mention that right now during the week we're like plant-based. We don't really eat meat Monday through Thursday, right? But on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's all bets are off. All right, so just wanted to point that out. All right. Cause y'all may catch a couple videos where we eating, you know, plant-based, and that's where that's coming in. We're not vegan, vegetarian, nothing like that. We just eat meat in moderation. All right, cool. Now let's proceed. What you were saying, babe? I'm sorry for interrupting.
So we've mentioned it in one of our previous videos, but Simone and I met in high school. My junior year, her senior year. And every time we tell this story, like, we don't agree.
We have our own versions of how we met. So I'm gonna let Chantanelle go first.
So my interpretation of how we met is, I was a junior, Simone was a senior. On Valentine's Day of 2013, we have in our school like this period called advisory period, where if you have good grades and you're caught up on your work and stuff, you have this extra free period to go to like the gym, go outside, hang out with your friends, things like that, for a period of the day, before and after your regular classes. And during this period, I was in the gym with a few of my friends, and I was really quiet in high school. So once we were in that gym, like, I think my friends might have like walked away or something. They were talking to somebody else, and Simone came up to me and she was talking to me or whatever, and I'm just like, kind of like, ugh, why is somebody talking to me? You know? But long story short, she gave me a lollipop and she called me a sucker. And mind you, it's Valentine's Day. That same day, she got my number. These like Parmesan wings.
You want to try one of
You can try one of these though.
Something small. Okay, a bite.
Okay. Did you want ranch on it? They're so good. But anyway, so Simone,
Shout out to Wingstop.
Simone, she asked me for my number, and like at first, the way that she did it though, like she put in the area code 901, which is the Memphis area code, and my number has always been an 847 area code because of Chicago. Like I got my first phone, or one of my first phones, in Chicago, and so I've just had that same number for the longest. So the number that I've always had from Chicago was the number that I had. So when she put in the 901 area code, she handed me her phone, and I'm just like, first off, my number doesn't even start with 901. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she deleted it and was like, well, put your number in.
Yep.
And literally we were talking on the phone for hours at a time and stuff. And she swears up and down that she was just trying to be my friend, y'all.
All right, so that's okay. We're gonna start right there. That's her version of how we met, right? Well, let me fill in some gaps. So she right, like officially when we talked to each other and met each other for the first time was February
14th.
February 14th was Valentine's Day 2013, right? Well, I was a senior in high school. Chantanay was a junior, right? So we got that difference. 2, Chantanay hung with some people that I knew, but I just never knew Chantanay, right? She's right. She was a quiet girl in high school. Didn't really talk. Well, I didn't really see her around anybody. Like, I was extroverted. I was the opposite. Like, I'm a people person. I was a student athlete. So, pretty popular in high school. And I would see her around. I would see her around some of the people that I knew. And I'd be like, who is this girl? Because one thing that I think one mentioned earlier was that she had just moved, to the city. She just moved.
Yeah, my sophomore year.
Her sophomore year, right? So she ain't go to that same high school that I went to for like all 4 years. So when I seen her, I thought she was new, even though she had been there, a year.
For a year.
So I thought she was new. And I saw her hanging around the people that I knew and, would talk with. So that interests me in getting to know her as a friend, okay? She don't believe that. Second thing.
I just feel like, just to interject, if you're trying to be friends with somebody, why would you ask for their number in that way? Like, that's just suspect to me. And Simone was known for being a gay girl, so.
That brings me to my second thing. I was known. Excuse my phone. I was out, right? So in high school, this is my senior year. So I was out by then. I came out around my sophomore year. We can go more in depth about that later if y'all want that.
Yeah.
But pretty much I was out already, and I wasn't looking for no relationship. Honestly, truth be told. So when I met her on Valentine's Day, like I said, I'm more extroverted, and I was out. So, I have a flirtatious nature, just by the way my, personality is set up sometimes, how I speak. But that doesn't mean that I want to be all that with you. That just means, I'm being nice, really. Friendly. Extra friendly.
So now I see why when females be like, they don't want no nigga that's all friendly.
That's how I used to be now. I was a married woman now, but back then in high school, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Back then in high school, that just was part of my personality. So, I walked up to her during our free period, and I seen her by herself, and I already knew she had hung with some of the people that I knew too. So I'm like trying to introduce myself and see, like pretty much mess with her. She the quiet person. I'm just trying to mess with her, and I was just doing that. But when I did get to talking with her, I was like, okay, let me get your number in. That's true. I did type it in. And she quickly corrected me that, you know, she didn't have that type of number. And I'm like, okay, so type it in for me. So she did. And then I did, you know, I reached out to her. I would say I was the friendly type where, like, you know, she was different to me. So, one, I didn't know her. I knew every other girl in my high school, you know, at that point, senior status. But then, two, it wasn't that I was trying to be in a relationship with her. It really was like I was just trying to get to know her. Because in my mind, I'm thinking she's straight. Like, you know, she only like guys. I didn't even think that, you know, she would be into a girl or, you know, whatever. So, play. We can start right there. I ended up hitting her up. And the part where she said, we talked on the phone for hours, that's true. Yeah. But it didn't just happen like that. She skipped over all the parts where I would reach out to her.
She used to call me and I used to ignore her phone calls.
I would reach out to her as a friend.
Because, like,
and try to hang out, or not even hang out.
Why you so loud, baby?
Oh, I'm passionate like that.
Okay, goddamn my ear.
Y'all are seeing my passionate talk. My bad, y'all. It's the Cancer in me. It's the Cancer.
Yeah, it is.
My zodiac sign. We're passionate. But pretty much, I would try to, ooh.
Spicy. Hot. I got mild.
Girl, that little thing ain't doing nothing but thangin'. But I would reach out to her. I'd be texting her just to check in on her, or, you know, see how, like, what's up, how she doing, whatever. No response. I'm like, okay, let time go by, another day go by, whatever. And we didn't really hang in the same circles. And like I said, I was a student athlete, so I was busy. So it wasn't like I just had the opportunity to see her all the time. I didn't know her like that. So in the beginning, I just would text her when I had free time just to check in or whatever. She ignored all my little messages, or if she did message me back, she kept it real short.
Real brief messages, like,
and then stopped messaging. And I'm like, okay.
Y'all, this one day, Simone takes it upon herself to to come into my lunch period. Mind you, we didn't have the same lunch period at all. And she came into my lunch period and she sat at the table and I'm just like, why are you here? And she was like, I don't know if you asked me to text you back or what.
But she asked me, you was the office person? Or what you talking about?
No, remember you came in my lunch period and you sat next to me at the table?
Oh, yeah.
You was like, then she asked me my name. And then she asked me, did you ask me my name? Oh, no, she didn't ask me my name. She asked me if she could call me by my last name.
Because her first name was too hard to pronounce. Which is
Diamond. And I'm like, no. Because one, my thought process was like, she's trying to talk to me. So if you're trying to talk to me, you're going to have to get to know my name. Like, you're going to have to be able to pronounce my name. So I was like, no, you cannot. Because I was in ROTC at the time too. And so she thought because like some of my classmates would call me Diamond, that she would just be able to call me that. And I'm like, why are you calling me that? No, you cannot call me that. That is my last name. My first name is Shantanae. So you need to be able to say that.
So let me just give y'all some insight on where my mind was at. She said I came into a lunch period. I didn't come into a lunch period for her at that time. I knew people. Like, I was a senior. I had nothing but free time. Senior in high school. I was already good with my grades. Student athlete. I was pretty popular. There was some favoritism going on amongst the teacher, staff, whatever. Years ago. It don't matter. But I did come into a lunch period because I had free time and that's just what I wanted to do. So I did it. And she sat at the table with people I knew. You know, so I would come over and mess with all of them. And then me being over there, I'll talk to everybody. And then I will also talk with her. I'm just filling in the blanks.
Simone, you specifically came over there and sat next to me. Really? Like, you specifically came over there and sat next to me and was like, I just wish that like we could do like a replay of that moment because Simone is real flirtatious. You right, you was real friendly. Like she couldn't have been my girlfriend at that time. I was single. Because she was real flirtatious, real friendly.
I was so single. Like, I was very flirty.
And then on top of that, like I wasn't
with everybody
like that for real. So I wasn't like at my old school, I was a cheerleader, but at this school, I didn't do cheerleading or anything. So I wasn't really like in tune with the athletics part of stuff. I was in ROTC, JROTC. I was in the robotics club, interact club, things like that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't into sports and all that other stuff. So I really did hang out with a whole completely different group of people. But yeah, I've always been like this little quiet girl who did my own hair, wore clip-ins, did my own makeup, stuff like that. But I was just really, really quiet. And people really did think that I was mean, but it wasn't that I was mean per se. It was just like, a lot of times people in high school can be mean, like, and so I just kept to myself. And people were like, why is she doing that? Why is she quiet? But I'm just like, I just stuck with myself because I didn't want no drama. I didn't have time for none of that. Like,
I think she was like one of them pretty girls in high school that people would look at but be scared to come up to.
But once they did though,
she was cool.
They realized I was super cool. I was super chill, super laid back.
Yeah.
Even people that I'm friends with now say that like when they first met me, they thought I was so stuck up or whatever. But
yeah,
they realized I was super laid back and super chill.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Simone also would do these things where she would skip her classes and literally come. I would have study hall, and during study hall you can go and you can work at like different offices around the school, and help like teachers out or help administrators out, whatever, during that time instead of being in study hall. And I was working with one of the coaches, and lo and behold, here come this mother freaker who used to come and sit with me during like I don't know if you were supposed to be in a class period or what.
No, I'm telling you, I had free time. So yes, I had class.
So explain that. Explain why you used to come over there when I'm in my study hall, like supposed to be in helping out coach.
So this was okay. So let's backtrack. I think because like you had mentioned, we talked on the phone for like a while, like hours when we finally talked on the phone. So I think all of this, like me popping up on her as far as like the study hall, because I did do that. She wasn't around nobody I knew. Yeah. I just came and saw her because I knew she was in there. She was there. Well, that was after we was getting to know each other. Yeah. You know, like, so it's like, you know, I'm interested in her, you know, because at first I just wanted to be her friend and get to know her because I didn't know her, and everybody else she hung with, I did. But after that, like after we talked, man, for them hours, I was like, man, and literally we had some deep conversations. Like I'm talking about, like we was talking about childhood, like we was talking about travel, like we was talking about a whole bunch of stuff, right? Yeah. So that made me interested in her, and like she was different than any other girl that I talked to, you know, before. So I was like, dang, like I want to keep talking to her, you know, like that was kind of like my motivation for like seeking you out after that. Because if she, I promise y'all, like if she hadn't caught my attention like she did, then I wouldn't have been on her.
And I think also another thing is like that I caught your attention, like how I caught your attention was I wasn't paying Simone no mind, and I don't think she was used to that at that time. Like I don't think that she was used to someone like, I don't know if you guys can see my freaking dog right here jumping, trying to get up here because she's begging for food, but you're not getting anything. But anyways, but yeah, I don't think she was used to that because Simone is used to people if she's talking to them or whatever, because she was popular, like people talking to her back or like flirting with her back, even girls that weren't even interested in girls for real, like that were talking back to her. But me on the other hand, like I was just kind of like, why are you talking to me? I'm annoyed because you're talking to me. And like, we really don't have nothing to talk about. Especially just because like I knew her reputation. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And even now, like, I will always say Simone was a whole player in high school. Like, she really was. Like, she gave people the time of the day. Do you hear me? Nah, I couldn't.
I was different back then.
She was. But I shut that down real quick once we got together because I didn't play like that.
So that's the reason why I was showing up, because she caught my interest after we didn't talk and stuff. And then we realized we started liking each other. Like, probably around April.
Y'all, what's crazy is how I told Simone that I liked her. I wrote her a freaking note when I was in my study hall period. It's crazy because I think something had happened and they canceled all the office workers. Like, I can't remember. So instead of me doing like my study hall, I mean like going to my office little job or whatever during my study hall, we actually had to stay in study hall. So during that study hall, I had did all my homework. I've always been a goody two shoes, a very great student. So all my work was done ahead of time. So I spent that time like literally writing down my feelings. Like, do I feel some type of way about this girl? Why? And you know, stuff like that. So I wrote a note of my feelings, just kind of like diary style to myself. And I let her read it. Like I made her read it after school.
It was so
we were
cool.
in my truck because I drove a truck to school, and I made her read it. I think that we're gonna have to do a separate video about us being married as a lesbian couple.
Oh,
because that can be a whole other video, because this video is already 23 minutes long. And of course we're gonna edit it, but still.
But it's okay, y'all gonna get it during Vlogmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
But we don't want to keep y'all.
She read the note, and then afterwards, like, I don't know. And then we still weren't official. Like, we just talked. Like, she just knew that I liked her a lot.
And I think she knew I liked her bit. I wrote you a note. I think we wrote a note on the same day or something.
We did. That's what was crazy. Like,
I'm for real. We was both thinking about each other.
He was like, you know what's crazy? I wrote a note too.
I'm so serious.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we wrote a note on like how much we really was thinking about each other, liking each other, and how we didn't expect it. Cause I ain't even gonna lie, like I didn't want to get in a relationship. That wasn't my objective. Like I said, I was single.
She had just gotten out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah. Woo. That drink is so good. Minute Maid mixed berry. But pretty much, yeah. Like, so I wasn't trying to get in a relationship. That wasn't where my head was at all.
Yeah.
At all. So like for me to be feeling, I guess the feelings that I had for her, it was just strictly because she was so different. I never met somebody like her. She was just like, you know, I felt like I was like discovering more of who she was instead of like what she displayed while she was at school.
Oh,
you know?
Right.
So she was showing me, you know, there's layers to her, and like I was interested. I'm like, okay, like I want to know more. I want to get to know you more and more and more. Yeah. So it got to the point where we wanted to spend all our time together. We was like interested. We both were interested in each other. And on her part, I think it was more like I've never felt this way towards a girl. So it's like,
yeah, because like I've liked girls in the past, but like I've never like tried to be in like a full blown relationship with a girl.
Exactly. So
yeah,
it was hard for her to understand her feelings strictly because I was a girl, and for me, it was hard for me to like. It wasn't hard for me to understand my feelings, but I was like, why am I feeling this way when I
she
don't want
to be tied down?
You know, I'm like, dang, I don't want to be in a relationship.
But still, even after that moment, like it took us months to get together. I think we made it official in June.
Yep.
And we started.
And I thought you were playing
talking or being friends in February. So.
That was a couple months. It didn't happen like that. It wasn't no instant connection. It was literally just unexpected for both of us, to say the least. Like, I got to know her not with the intention of being with her, and she didn't even want to get to know me, but she got to know me, and unexpected, she
and it's so
wanted
crazy.
to be with me.
Now that I think about it, like, so much happened in that short amount of time. Like, I feel like we connected and stuff, but then also
I feel like that's how life be in general.
Might remember
like so much happened in our lives in a short amount of time, but that's okay. We're gonna start documenting it because it's crazy.
But during that same time, that same year, my grandma passed away.
I know.
Right before you graduated.
I know.
It was just real crazy.
It was
like,
a lot.
We went through a lot. Like early on, just a lot. Like
then we decided to be official, and she was out of state. Visiting her dad's house.
I went to my dad's house for the summer. And I was gone for like 2
Now,
months.
mind you, it was June. Right. She didn't come back till like the end of July.
Early August. Mm-hmm.
And she was gone, I think, since what? End of May?
Mm-hmm.
And then she asked me while she was out of town. We were still talking to each other daily. And I said, yeah. And then I'm like, I don't even know when I'm going to see you again. Like, and then mind you, I just graduated, so I'm going to college.
Girl.
In August.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So much.
We still had so much fun though.
We
were
we're still together.
We did a lot of crazy stuff for each other, honestly. We've been through a lot.
But
that's crazy.
That's our story. And I wouldn't change it. It was meant to be.
That's crazy. When did we get caught?
In May.
God damn. We just been through so much. Like, that's just crazy.
Either early May or end of April.
Mm-mm. We just did too much.
Yeah.
We should have. No, I'm just kidding. I don't regret anything.
All gas, no brakes. That's what they say.
But that's basically the story about how we met. Like,
there it is. All right, y'all. Well, I hope this video was good. I hope y'all learned a little bit more about us.
Yes.
And we'll catch y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.